Welcome back my YouTube channel Old Coin ZE Collection. Today's video we're diving deep into this coin 1992 South African 50 cents coin, one of the lesser known yet fascinating coins with surprising historical and collector value. Whether you're a coin enthusiast or a new collector, this is one coin you'll want to learn more about. The year 1992 marked a major transitional period for South Africa. It was the final full year before the end of apartheid, and major political reforms were underway. As a result, coins minted during this time carry historical significance. The 50 cents coin from this year, though circulating as normal currency, is now sought after for more than just its face value. This 50 cents coin is part of the third decimal series of South African coins, which began in 1989. Unlike previous series, these coins were designed with a modern look while keeping symbolic national elements. The 1992 coin was minted under the South African Reserve Bank and reflects both cultural and political change. One of the most striking features of the 1992 50 cents coin is its reverse design. It features the famous Strelitzia reginae, commonly known as the crane flower or bird of paradise flower. This flower is native to South Africa and symbolizes beauty, growth, and resilience, fitting for the nation's transformation during the early 1990s. The obverse side of the coin features the South African coat of arms, which was used from 1910 until it was replaced in 2000. Around the coat of arms, the name of the country appears in two languages, English and Afrikaans. In this year, you'll find South Africa and SUID Africa along the rim. This bilingual feature not only reflects the country's diverse linguistic heritage but also represents the country's complex socio-political background at the time. The coin weighs 5 grams and is made from nickel-plated copper, giving it a shiny silver appearance that has stood the test of time for well-preserved pieces. Collectors have noted that the 1992 50 cents coin often shows up in circulated condition, but there are a few uncirculated or proof specimens known. These are especially valuable because they are rare and typically not found in everyday coinage. The South African Mint produced a limited number of high-quality coins that were not intended for mass circulation. Interestingly, the 1992 coin is one of the lower mintage issues in the 50 cents range during that period. With limited supply and increasing demand from collectors both inside and outside South Africa, its value has gradually appreciated over the past few decades. Now let's talk about its collector value. A standard circulated coin might fetch between $1 and $10 depending on condition. However, if you possess an uncirculated or proof coin, especially one still sealed or graded by an official body like PCGS or NGC, the value can be much higher. There are rumors and verified auctions where pristine or rare variants of this coin have sold for several $1,000s. In extremely rare cases, if a coin features an error such as a double strike, misalignment, or off-center minting, its price can skyrocket in the numismatic market. One such coin reportedly sold at an international numismatic auction for a price close to $4 million due to a rare minting error and its exceptional proof condition. While these sales are very rare, they showcase the potential value that historical coins can have when collectors and historians take an interest. But it's important to remember that not every 1992 50 cents coin will hold such high value. Condition, rarity, and demand are what truly drive coin prices. Still, it's always worth examining your old coins closely. You never know what hidden treasure you might find. If you have this coin, make sure to preserve it well. Avoid cleaning it, as that can reduce its value. Store it in a coin capsule or a dry, soft pouch to prevent scratches or environmental damage. If you believe your coin is special, consider having it appraised or certified. You can check online marketplaces, coin fairs, and auctions to compare prices, but be cautious of fakes or replicas. Only buy or sell through trusted dealers and platforms that provide authentication and support. Transparency is key in coin collecting. This coin isn't just a piece of metal, it's a snapshot of South African history. From its design to the era it was minted in, this coin 1992 50 cents coin history. This coin ran 1988 coin. You won't believe how much this little coin is worth today. If you're a collector or just getting into the world of rare coins, this video is packed with valuable information that you don't want to miss. Make sure to stick around until the end, where we'll reveal its incredible value. Let's get started. Before we talk about the value, let's go back in time to understand the context of this remarkable coin. The 1 Rand coin was first introduced by South Africa in 1961, and by the time 1988 came around, the country was going through a period of political change and economic challenges. In 1988, South Africa was under the policy of apartheid, a system of institutionalized racial segregation. The rand, however, was not just a currency, it was a symbol of the complex political and economic climate of that era. The South African Reserve Bank issued the 1988 1 Rand coin as part of its ongoing series to replace the older British sterling coins and establish a national currency. The design on the 1988 coin features the famous Springbok antelope, which has been a consistent symbol on South African currency since the 1940s. The Springbok, which symbolizes the country's natural beauty and wildlife, appears on the reverse side of the coin. Let's take a closer look at the coin's design. On the obverse, you'll find the iconic South Africa inscription, along with the year 1988. The reverse side showcases the Springbok antelope, known for its grace and speed, which has become synonymous with South African pride. Notice how the Springbok is elegantly depicted in mid-leap, symbolizing South Africa's untamed natural beauty. Around the Springbok, you'll also find the inscription, 1 Rand, along with the mint mark if you're lucky enough to have one with this rare feature. The edge of the 1988 coin is reeded, which was a common feature in most Rand coins of the time. This was done to prevent people from clipping or shaving off small amounts of precious metal, a technique sometimes used by those looking to profit from coinage. Now, let's talk about rarity. Not all 1 Rand coins are created equal. The value of any coin is highly dependent on its condition. For collectors, the grade or condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. If you have a 1 Rand 1988 coin that is in mint or near mint condition, it's significantly more valuable. Coins that have been preserved in pristine condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or wear and tear, are highly sought after in the numismatic world. Coins with errors or anomalies, such as misprints or misstrikes, also have a special place in the world of coin collecting. These types of coins, though rare, can fetch astronomical prices at auctions or with private buyers. Now for the exciting part. How much is the 1 Rand 1988 worth today? In 1988, the 1 Rand coin was simply worth 1 Rand. But today, its value has skyrocketed, especially for those in mint or perfect condition. If you're fortunate enough to have one in a pristine, uncirculated state, you might be looking at a value of up to $543 now. Let's break it down. A coin that's been kept in excellent condition can fetch a price of anywhere from $50 to $60,000, depending on the specifics. However, the real jackpot comes with those ultra-rare specimens, the ones with unique flaws or even the limited edition coins that were minted with slight differences. These rarities are what draw the attention of the highest bidders. So, how do you know if your 1 Rand 1988 coin is worth a small fortune? First, you'll want to closely examine the coin for wear. If the details on the Springbok are still sharp and distinct, and the surface doesn't show significant signs of use, you might have a winner. Next, consider getting your coin professionally graded. A grading company, such as PCGS or NGC, can assess your coin's condition and give it a certification that will increase its credibility and value on the market. Finally, be aware of the market. Coin values fluctuate depending on demand, the current economy, and the latest auctions. If you have a rare coin, holding on to it might be a good idea if you want to maximize your return in the future. If you're new to coin collecting or you're considering starting your own collection, there's no better time than now. Begin by looking at coins that interest you, whether they are rare, historic, or simply have a design that appeals to you. Coins like the 1 Rand 1988 make great starting points. They're part of South African history, they have unique designs, and their value is steadily rising. If you'd like to dive deeper into this hobby, there are plenty of resources and communities out there to help guide you on your journey. Well, there you have it, folks. The 1 Rand 1988. A small coin with a big history on this coin 1988, South African 1 center coin ***, and its unbelievable market value of a jaw-dropping $78, $125. Yes, you heard that right, this little coin, which was once worth just 1 cent, has now become one of the most valuable pieces in the numismatic world. So grab your magnifying glass and let's explore the history and rarity behind this stunning coin. To understand why the 1988 South African 1 cent coin is so valuable today, we need to step back in time. Let's go over its origins and the historical significance of South Africa's coinage during the 1980s. In the 1980s, South Africa was in the midst of major political and economic changes. The country was under the system of apartheid, which was a deeply controversial regime. This political backdrop plays an important role in the history of South African coins during this era. However, when it comes to the 1 cent coin, it's its design and production that contribute to its rarity and value. First issued in 1961. The South African 1 cent coin was part of the country's decimal currency system that replaced the pound and shilling system. Coins were initially produced by the South African Mint, which was established in the 1940s. Now, fast forward to 1988. This year marked the final year the 1 cent coin was minted before it was phased out. The 1988 1 cent coin is part of a set of final year coins, which are often highly sought after by collectors. Let's talk about the design of this coin. The 1988 South African 1 cent coin measures just 16 millimeters in diameter and is made of bronze, a durable metal that gives it a distinct, warm, reddish-brown color. The obverse, or front of the coin, features the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, a key historical figure in South Africa's history. He was a Dutch colonial administrator and the founder of Cape Colony. On the reverse side, we have the iconic springbok, the national symbol of South Africa. The springbok is a graceful and quick antelope, and it represents the country's natural beauty and wildlife. Notice the fine details on the springbok design. The texture, the crisp lines, it's these characteristics that make this coin not only visually appealing but historically important. Now, let's get into the most exciting part. Why is the 1988 South African 1 cent coin worth $78, $125 today? The answer lies in its rarity and its condition. In 1988, South Africa minted a relatively small number of 1 cent coins compared to other denominations. However, a portion of these coins never made it into circulation due to errors in production and a shift in the national currency policy. Most notably, some of the 1988 1 cent coins were misstruck, creating extremely rare variations that have sparked bidding wars among collectors. The most valuable among these are the proof coins, which are coins made for collectors and not meant for circulation. These proof coins are flawless, with a high-quality finish that makes them stand out. In recent auctions, a graded 1988 South African 1 cent coin with an impeccable quality and rarity has sold for over $78,000. The combination of historical significance, rarity, and condition has made this coin a true treasure in the eyes of collectors. Let's talk about how this coin fits into the broader world of coin collecting and investment. The 1988 South African 1 cent coin isn't just a piece of history, it's also an excellent example of how rare coins can be valuable investments. Numismatics, the study or collection of coins, has always been a popular hobby, but it has also become a serious investment opportunity. Rare coins like this one can appreciate over time, and collectors often hold on to these pieces for years, if not decades, watching their value grow. For many collectors, it's about more than just the money. It's about the joy of owning a rare and beautiful piece of history. But for investors, the 1988 1 cent coin is definitely one to keep an eye on if you're looking to expand your portfolio. So, what do you think? Is the 1988 South African 1 cent coin the crown jewel of your collection? Or perhaps it's still on your bucket list? Either way, it's clear that this small piece of currency has a big story to tell. And this coin, 1990 South African 2 Rand coin, this coin with its stunning design and deep historical significance has become one of the most sought-after collectibles. And here's the jaw-dropping part, this seemingly ordinary coin has been valued at a staggering $8 million, but what makes it so rare and valuable? Stay with us till the end as we uncover the secrets behind this extraordinary piece of currency. Historical background: the 2 Rand coin was introduced in South Africa as part of the country's decimal currency system. Before this, South Africa used the pound system, but in 1961, when the nation became a republic. The rand was adopted as the official currency. The 1990 version of the 2 rand coin holds special importance as it was minted during a transitional period in South African history just before the end of the apartheid era. This coin represents a time of change, making it a historically significant piece. Obverse design, a symbol of power. On the obverse side of the coin, you will find the coat of arms of South Africa. This intricate design features a shield supported by 2 animals, a springbok and a lion, symbolizing strength and resilience. The shield itself is divided into different sections, each representing various aspects of South African heritage and culture. Above the shield, there is a crown-like structure signifying the country's sovereignty. Surrounding this majestic emblem, you'll see the words Suid-Afrika and South Africa written in Afrikaans and English, showing the nation's bilingual heritage. Reverse design, the iconic springbok. The reverse side of this coin features the springbok, one of the most recognizable symbols of South Africa. This graceful antelope is not just a national icon, but also a representation of speed, elegance, and endurance. The springbok has been featured on various South African coins, including the famous Kruger and gold coins. On the right side, you'll see the denomination 2 rand clearly engraved, signifying its face value. The artist ALS Arthur Sutherland designed this beautiful piece, ensuring that every detail of the springbok is captured perfectly. Metal composition and specifications. The 1990 South Africa 2 rand coin was minted in nickel-plated steel, making it durable and resistant to corrosion. However, there are some rare silver and gold prototypes that were never released for circulation. These rare versions are what make collectors go crazy over this coin. The specifications are as follows: weight 7g, diameter 24 mm, shape slightly rounded square, metal nickel-plated steel with rare silver and gold variants. Rarity and collectors' demand. Now let's talk about what makes this coin a true collector's dream. The 1992 rand coin is considered rare because very few high-quality specimens exist today. Most of the circulated coins have scratches, wear, or damage, making them less desirable. However, if you happen to own a proof or uncirculated version, you could be holding a fortune. Additionally, special mint error coins, such as those with misprints, double strikes, or off-center designs, are known to fetch sky-high prices in auctions. Value and recent auctions. A shocking revelation. Here comes the most exciting part: the value of this coin. While regular 2 rand coins may be worth just a few dollars, the ultra-rare versions of the 1992 rand coin have recently sold for as high as $8 million. Yes, you heard that right. This insane value is due to its historical importance, minted during the crucial transition of South Africa's history. 2 limited surviving pieces in mint condition. The best preserved ones are incredibly rare. 3 collector frenzy. Coin collectors and investors worldwide are paying millions to own a piece of history. How to identify a valuable 2 rand coin. If you have a 1992 rand coin, here's how you can check if it's a valuable one. 1. Check the minting errors. Look for double strikes, missing letters, or off-center designs. 2. Examine the metal composition. If your coin is silver or gold, it's an ultra-rare prototype. 3. Check its condition. Coins with no scratches, discoloration, or damage are worth the most. 4. Look for proof versions. These coins have a special shiny finish and are highly valuable. Where can you sell this coin? If you believe you own a rare 1990 South Africa 2 rand coin history, this coin 1988 10-cent coin from South Africa. Let's find out why. Let's start with the history. The South African 10-cent coin has seen several design changes over the decades. In 1988, South Africa was still under apartheid, and this era produced coins that would later become highly collectible. The 10-cent coin from this period features 2 protea flowers, a symbol of beauty and diversity, and on the obverse, the portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, a controversial historical figure. What makes 1988 unique? Well, the mintage that year was relatively high, but there are whispers of rare mint errors and proof versions that never made it to circulation. These hidden gems are what collectors go crazy for. Let's zoom into the design. The coin is made of nickel-plated copper, with a reeded edge and a weight of 2 grams. The protea flowers on the reverse are delicately engraved, showing South Africa's national pride. On the obverse is the South African coat of arms or a portrait, depending on the series. Look closely. Certain 1988 coins have visible differences in font spacing, flower details, or date alignment. These minor variations can boost the value dramatically, especially if confirmed by experts. Now let's talk money. Why is this coin reportedly worth $87,880? Some versions of the 1988 10-cent coin have been classified as error coins, meaning something went wrong during minting. Examples include double die strikes, off-center errors, or even the wrong planchet type. A verified 1988 error coin or proof strike, especially one that's in mint condition, can sell for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. One such coin, listed at $87,880, drew massive attention on collector forums. That you must always verify these prices with real auction results. Most 1988 10-cent coins are only worth face value or a few dollars, but if you have one in near-perfect condition, it's time to get it graded. Coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can confirm whether you've got something special. If your coin has a rare mint error, it's a game changer. Auction houses and collectors often pay premium rates for authenticated rarities. I always recommend checking eBay, heritage auctions, and local numismatic dealers to compare prices. Remember, condition is everything. A minor scratch can reduce value significantly. Keep your coins in airtight capsules and handle them with care. Some of our viewers have sent in their amazing finds, including a 1988 10-cent coin with a misaligned die that could be worth over $500. If you have a 1988 10C coin, comment below or send a photo to our email. You could be featured in the next video. Let's build a community that helps each other uncover hidden treasures. So, is your 1988 South African 10-cent coin history. This coin, South African 1988 5-cent coin, was issued as part of South Africa's coin series in the late 1980s. But what makes this particular coin stand out so much? Well, it's not just because of the date. It's a combination of factors like its design, historical significance, and, of course, its rarity. On the obverse side of the coin, we see a portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, who was a key figure in South Africa's colonial history, credited with establishing the first European settlement at the Cape of Good Hope in 1652. This portrait has been a common feature on South African coins for decades. It's a nod to South Africa's deep-rooted history, which collectors appreciate. On the reverse side, we see the iconic protea flower, the national flower of South Africa, and the denomination 5C for 5 cents. The design represents the country's natural beauty and its rich flora, which also adds to the appeal of this coin for collectors. Now, let's take a step back and look at the history behind the 5-cent coin itself. The South African 5-cent coin was first introduced in 1961, replacing the earlier smaller denominations of the pre-1961 South African currency system. In 1988, the country was going through significant political and social changes, which adds another layer of historical significance to this particular coin. In the late 1980s, South Africa was at a crossroads in its history. With the apartheid system still in place, though change was on the horizon. So, when the South African Reserve Bank minted the 1988 5-cent coin, it was not just a piece of currency, it was part of the fabric of a nation in transition. Now, let's talk about the minting of the 1988 5-cent coin. While this coin wasn't initially considered rare or special when it was first produced, its rarity and value have increased over time. The South African Mint produced a significant number of coins in 1988, but there were some interesting variations that began to catch the eyes of collectors. Interestingly, most of the 1988 5-cent coins were minted with a standard finish, but there were a few limited-run coins with specific errors or variations that significantly raised their value. These errors could range from slight misprints on the coin's edge to slight variations in the design elements. And of course, a coin with such a unique history becomes a highly sought-after collectible. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the value. While a typical 1988 5-cent coin is worth just a few cents today, there are certain rare examples of this coin that have sold for incredible prices. One of these coins, with a specific error or rare minting, fetched a whopping $43,230 at auction. How did it get this high? Well, the combination of rarity, historical significance, and demand among collectors drove the price up. When you add a unique feature, like a minting error or a coin that was kept in pristine condition over the years, the value can skyrocket, especially when only a few are known to exist. So, how do you spot a valuable 1988 5-cent coin? The key is to look for imperfections or unique features that make it stand out. Let me walk you through a few things to check for. First, check the edges of the coin for any errors in the minting process. Misalignments, incorrect inscriptions, or unintentional designs can sometimes occur. Next, inspect the coin for any signs of unusual wear. Coins in mint or near mint condition will command a premium. Now that you know how valuable a coin like this can be, what if you're just starting out in the world of coin collecting? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Here are a few tips to help you build your collection and potentially discover coins like this one. And that wraps up today's video on the incredible South African 1988 5-cent coin, worth up to $43,230. Who would have thought that such a small coin could carry such a big value? History__right. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Old Coin ZE Collection for more fascinating coin stories.